Hey there, Internet. Keeve here, and welcome to the Cars and Keeve YouTube channel. In this video, we're going over the Raincovo Snow Pro foam cannon. When I search on Amazon, there are tons of them out there, but I tend to not want to re-review or review a product that looks similar to one that I've already done. But this has a feature that none of the other ones have, which is a very easy, kind of quick release, unscrewable way to get to the filter that's in here. Normally there's a pin that you have to kind of push the pin out with a tool, then you can slide the whole nozzle out, then you have to go in there. It just screws off just like this. And on the inside, it's metal and not just plastic. The 360, the tension is very good. Very good. Just what I like to see. Then at the end, the spray pattern, like most models, it's looser than I would like it to be. I would really like somebody to come out with one at the end that's tense enough to where it's going to stay where I want it and it's not going to move. Which brings us to the manifold and the back half, which is very MJJC-like. The only difference is the pattern on even the nozzle here and the back half where the M22 connection is, because it just screws right off just like an M22, which is great because it allows you to get into the orifice in there and change it out depending on the pressure washer you have. And the top knob here has those same really small little ribs. You have the 1/4 inch quick connect at the end, but also if you have a normal pressure washer with an M22 connection on the wand, instead of adding the longer one at the end and using the quick connect, you can screw that directly into this and have it about this length instead of this length. It even has a riser, but the riser looks different. This is all brass, so it's heavy construction. Brass is very proven, but it has a nice little finish to it. The cap is definitely not leak proof. It is going to leak like a sieve, but something happened when I got this. I was surprised. They don't even say it in their listing. This is a dual threaded cap. So it has the threading for the bottle, but it also has an inner threading for just about any kind of quart or pint bottle that's out there when it comes to chemical soaps. The tube's what I like. It's a smaller diameter. It's not the really big ones, and it's very, very flexible. That weighted ball is really nice at the bottom. It is a little long for the way it is, but when you put it in there, the way it kind of sits and it has that little curve, it spins like perfectly in the bottom. And that's going to help you stay in the water all the time, stay in the liquid, but also when you use like a heavier soap that's a little bit harder to mix, like Incredible Suds, that will help you get that mixed up. You got the poorly placed Raincovo sticker on here that isn't directly up and down, very Giraffe Tools-like. From 300 up to 1,000, there is a line for each and every one of those, and it's very easy to see. It comes with an extra filter. It comes with a 1.1 orifice. It says what's in here is 1.25. We'll find out in a minute here how accurate that is. And they give you 2 cheap itty bitty little things of Teflon. I have yet to see anywhere on here where you would need the Teflon. Speaking of bottles, this bottle, when it breaks, I will be able to use either my empty Griots bottle or my Quiver bottle, because the top broke. You know, if you watch that video, you know how that happened. Or an MJC bottle or any of those. This top fits those bottles. So you want to run a Griots bottle? There you go. And the Griots bottle is the most durable bottle on the market. There is nothing more durable. The MJC bottle, I hear like AliExpress in some places, these things are very cheap. This one says Quiver. It's an MJC bottle. A Pro V2 bottle, but this fits on that one as well, which is really nice. And I didn't even mention the price. This is $25.99 right now. There is a $2 coupon, so it's $23.99. for everything that comes here. All right, let's measure the 1.25 on the inside. The 1.25 diameter does not fit. The 1.22 does not fit. 1.19, oh, fits tight. So it's either a 1.19 or a 1.20, which isn't crazy far off. The 1.1, okay, that's dead on. Here is that unscrew point for changing out the filters. Up close, you see that filter in there, and that's built real nice. This is really heavy duty plastic right around here, around that point. There's that dual threading. You can see the outer threading and the inner threading. The bottom of this bottle is built and molded very, very well. Very nice flat surface on the outside. So, I mean, it sits nice. And when you put the top in, due to it being a nice slim nozzle and a more center gravity, it's got very, very good balance for how tall it is. I would kind of wish that the bottle was a little bit wider at the bottom, which is why I would prefer the Griots or the MJJC bottle with this, a nice wider bottom. Now over here in the corner is our smorgasbord of different types of pressure washers. We have a lower end Craftsman 1700. We have the middle of the pack, kind of residential high flow, active 2.0, and we have more of your commercial style high flow AR630 up top. That gives us different amounts because you can't just do a review video with an AR630, say it foams well. Well, most people don't have those. Most people are going to have a Craftsman, a Ryobi, a Karcher, a Greenworks, something like that. That's what the Craftsman is going to do for you. So we can kind of know what the orifice do on that, what the amps do, the 2.0 as well, because the 2.0 kind of rides the line at 15 amps with the orifices and different foam cans. So we kind of see what it does there to kind of give you a suggestion. The 630 is going to run just fine on the 1.25 because it's a 20 amp machine, should be on a 20 amp breaker. So let's get into the soap being used. That soap will be Incredible Suds. We use it at a 32:1 dilution. I pre-dilute it beforehand because it's a very thick soap. It's the one downfall of this soap. Just produces amazingly good foam at that smaller dilution. It cleans really well. Code Cars will keep you save you 10% at DIY Detail or the House of Rags. Same soap and dilution we use in every single foam cannon video to make sure we keep everything on an even playing field. So I keep my Incredible Suds diluted over here. Like I said, 32:1, like so thick, it's just easier. But if you do this, I'll link these kind of jugs below. You really shouldn't leave this in here for more than 2 months at most. The best thing about pre-diluting this kind of stuff is you only use exactly what you need. Okay, Craftsman 1700, let's check the amperage. We don't need the bottle on because it's all about the orifice size here long before it ever even pulls anything out of the bottle. 10.2 amps. The Craftsmans are always very low amp machines. Same thing with the Ryobi's, Greenworks. You never have a problem with those machines. All right, here goes nothing. The adjustment knob is all the way into the max position. I think with the Craftsman, with the 1.20, 1.25 sized orifice, this is probably gonna foam a little bit better than most. Yeah, that's pretty good out of the box with a lower end machine like that. The foam level is actually quite good. But it's, like I said, it's not 1.25 foam level, it's 1.20 foam level. You don't even need to change the one that's in there. You're gonna prolong the life of your machine a little bit more by running a little bit less amps. But if you want the crazy thick foam, let's show you what the 1.1 can do. And this is just a 1/4-inch spray nozzle that I use quite a bit. I'll list it below, but it just connects onto your spray gun. You turn the pressure washer off and you get a really nice kind of a rinsing stream. Works really great for spotless. 1.1 installed. Let's find out the amps first. 10.85 amps. That's not far off of the 10.2 or so that the 1.20 size nozzle did. And one other thing to note is the screw pattern of this top is very good. It just goes on real easy. It's very hard to misalign and not thread correctly. All right, time for the mega foam. And I don't even know sometimes if you can tell that in the video. There is a difference between the two, not much, but the dimpling, like the three-dimensional texture of the dimples is more defined. This is good, but I don't see the use of having to change them out and use a 1/2 amp more power. .25 installed. Before we get to that, this new spray gun, look at this. That thing, the swivel is so good. All right, for that 1.20 size, 14.2 amps. So we are safe and clear on the amps. I was actually expecting it to be a little bit higher than that. That's pretty good. Got our top back on. This is going to foam good. And that's what I'm talking about. The texture and everything is basically what it was with the Craftsman on the 1.1. The 1.25, 1.20 on the Craftsman was a little bit runnier, but the biggest difference you're going to see from the 2.0 and even more in the AR630 is just there's more foam here. You see less of the panel in the background and the dimples. It's just there's more water, there's more foam. We got to run some more. We got to stack this. That's more like it. Obviously, when you spray foam on top of foam, it doesn't get that texture like it does on a dry panel, but man, you gotta have some fun. The big dog AR630 up on the shelf there is now finally hooked up. We got a little bit of soap left. It's actually done pretty well for the amount of soap we put on there. This doesn't pull a ton of soap compared to what I've seen, but it does really have really good foam production, which is good. Let's check out the amps. 14.9 amps, so we're actually still under 15 amps with the 1.20. With a 1.25, it's usually about 14 and a half or so. So let's hook this back up. And let's get even better foam. As you can see, amazing foam production. A little bit more foam than even the Active 2.0, slightly more because it is, that's what, 10% more in performance. 2.2 gallons per minute versus 2.0. But man, so good. We might as well have some fun and use up all the rest of this soap. Time for the drop test, and you know the rules. 3 empty drops, shoulder height. I'm about 5'10 and a half, 5'11, depending on what pair of shoes I'm wearing. And then we do 3 full drops with 1,000 milliliters inside. If it does all of it, then it gets that durable seal of approval. But if it passes through the empties and maybe 1 or 2 full drops, it's still really good, especially for the price. Drop 2. Woo! Now, top popped off, which is good because normally on this threading, the MJC tops, sometimes they pop off. The griot, sometimes they pop off as well. Third drop. Woo, that was a different sound. See how well it did. That's good. I don't see any delamination. The bottle looks completely intact. I don't see any cracks or fractures anywhere. The top is still in good shape. Let's fill it up with some water. Now it's time for the big drops. 1,000 milliliters. This thing actually did really well through the empties. Can it survive at least 1 fluid drop? It's already better than the MJC Pro V3. This costs 110 bucks. Hopefully their new bottle fixes that problem. Well, I don't know why that scares me every time. It actually survived. The top popped off like we expected to, so it's kind of taking the damage. We just got some scratching on the bottom. No delamination. No damage to the nozzle, anything. Second drop, we're already in beyond expectations for this price level and a clear bottle. All right, let's see. Can I do this without flinching? The top popped off again, taking away all of the pressure and energy. And we're not even delaminated. Third drop. The top didn't pop off. It just unscrewed slightly. The M22 fitting got a little loose there. We are still good. MJJC, are you taking notes? Because this is a clear, nice, visible bottle. The only thing I see is the manifold is a little loose. And that's just because those impacts, there's a little nut inside of here. You can just tighten that down. And we're back to tight. This thing's done pretty well, but you guys want to see it. This is the last try. If it doesn't break on this, we're going to leave it the way it is. No freaking way. All right, we got a little collateral damage to the nose. Looks like when it jumped off, it landed here, but this is still perfectly usable. There's no damage. The M22 loosed a little bit. You saw the top popped off. We have no cracking on the threads. I am super impressed. We definitely have the key seal of approval on the durability. It's not a quiver foam cannon, so I don't want to break it. Well, there you go. It did amazing. The foam was great. We have that innovative feature. We have great features all together on a $23.99 right now foam cannon. It'll be up at $26 at some point. But what you're getting out of this, clear bottle that survived 7 drops. and I'm liking it so much, I don't want to break it anymore. Pretty dang cool. So if you're looking for a foam cannon, this is a viable option. Plus it's dual threaded, and they didn't even know that was worth it to market that. I think that's a great feature. So don't forget to check out the links below for anything in the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Let's get it to the Fixfans retractable pressure hose. Jesus, what are you doing? Boy, it just wants to be a little bitch. Why are you being a little bitch? Being a little bitch. Ooh, scared the shit. I didn't realize it was on.